Like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah, hit the bell icon. Go ahead, hit that one right there. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? What up with it? You know what I'm saying? Supreme Beats Boxing Talk. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Cadillac Red. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my brother.
Dude, Shizzle.
You know what I'm saying? And we got a very special guest. You know what I'm saying? I am honored to have him on the show. You know what I'm saying? Freeway Rick Ross. No, not that one. Don't do that. Don't do that. We talking about the real, not the fake. You know what I'm saying? Not the CO. We talking about the MA. You know what I'm saying? OG, what's happening with you?
Oh man, just working hard, man.
I hear that, man. I hear that, man. I hear you making moves. You know what I'm saying? While we setting up, I hear you making moves, man.
I got to. I had to learn how to do it setting up. Well, I did it setting up in prison, so I was thinking, I was sitting here and I was like, wow, in prison you didn't have a computer, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have a three-way phone call. They only allowed you to work with 300 minutes a month, and you was able to work with that. Why can't you work sitting here from your house? So,
absolutely.
Now I'm sitting in this condo, 3-bedroom condo overlooking the city, and I said I can't make nothing happen from there. There's something wrong with me, so I went to work.
Okay.
I went to work.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You are every dope boy's legend or whatnot. So I want to start off with it from off jump. This has got to be a hell of a life and a hell of a journey, saying that you only wanted $5,000 for some rims for a car, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you must have read my story.
you know I did. Like I said, man, I'm a allegedly an ex-dope boy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too big, but of course I'm a know the history of the OG. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was a victim of the Jim Crow, scenario. Not wanting much out of life. Being satisfied. I thought I would be satisfied living in my mama's garage. For the rest of my life, and $5,000 would have set me right, would have put some wheels on my car. I could have got my car painted. I didn't want much. I was a simple boy, like most of us, never had no dreams really, it's funny, they say once you take somebody's language, you squash their dreams, and I think that's what's happening to us here in America as black people. Our dreams have been squashed and squandered, and we just don't dream no more. We just follow the herd, whatever. Mr. Charlie say do. That's what we do.
Right.
And not directly, because he don't tell us it directly. Because if he told us directly, because we rebels.
Yeah.
We rebels against the system, but they don't do it directly. They do it suddenly. They pick. Back in the day, they called him a house nigga, and I try not to use that term, but they called him a house nigga, and they give him, all the bread and the rice and the beans, and then he pass it out to all the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Reading your story and listening to you talk about your story, it's a couple things that I feel like was like divine intervention that helped you out, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about it. You had a chop shop, and in the chop shop, like you said, you wanted some rims for the lowrider, so you had like the flash with you. But after the incident with the chop shop, and the feds running in there, you stopped. You say you crushed the lowrider, and you stopped wanting to be flashy.
Yeah, I wanted to kill that mentality.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about that, because what I found out is that mentality kept me broke. Even though I made good money every night. I mean, here I am, 18 years old, had never had nothing in my life. I probably had never saw $300 before. And now, here I am stealing cars every night, making $300-400 a night, but I got nothing to show for it. But the chrome up under the car and hydraulic pumps and some dirty jeans. So when they raided me and I was sitting in that jail cell and I thought about, what I'd been doing, like I put myself on this hamster wheel where I was literally going around in circles and not really going anywhere. So when I started selling drugs, I said I wasn't gonna put myself in that same scenario.
Okay. Okay. There's something else that you said too that I thought was influential in you becoming the OG that you are, and that's tennis and critical thinking. I don't really hear too much you saying you play football or basketball like everyone else in the hood. You went the Arthur Ashe route and decided to play tennis. And
I played basketball and football.
okay.
I was an athlete. I was pretty quick.
Okay.
But I wasn't big enough. In like the ninth grade, it became clear to me that I was gonna have it hard, in high school football because of my size.
Okay.
At that time I probably was only like 5'2", so I was a little bitty dude, and they were looking at all big dudes. They wasn't really paying attention to little dudes.
Okay.
And then I liked to play quarterback too, so that made it even harder. So it became apparent to me that I better stick with tennis instead of trying to chase football or basketball.
Yeah, 5'2", trying to play quarterback. You got a death sentence out there in the LA streets. What's wrong with you? Come on, man. Okay,
man, I was too little.
But you playing tennis. I heard you say something that's like it's like you have to think like 30,000 steps, or you could be in no man's land out there. Talk to me, like I said. Tell me about how that developed your critical thinking.
More than that, man. I went to a tennis camp. I took my kids to a tennis camp up at UCLA because I still keep contact with my friends that I played tennis with in high school.
Okay.
I helped them go on circuit when they turned pros. I helped them get out there. Even though I had gave up my dream, I didn't give up on their dreams. Their dream was to still be pro, and my dream and their dream was the same. Was to see us out there together. So even though that I wasn't gonna be there, I still wanted to push them the best that I could. Even though I could have did better for them, but they never told me that they wanted me to do better. But anyway, they helped me now. I got two babies that I'm raising right now, tennis players, possibly. According to how long they want to play. So I work with my friends who went on the circuit, who got more experience out of tennis than I did. They are the real coaches. I coach, but I can't coach like they do. So one of them invited me to UCLA one day to a camp where the assistant coach at UCLA, who was a brother, was giving a speech about critical thinking. And during that speech, he said that when you play one tennis match, you make over 60,000 decisions inside of that one match, and you're making those decisions on the fly. So I credit that with some of my ability to be able to do critical thinking, to be able to recognize opportunities when other people are hesitant on making those decisions.
Okay. Now, I heard a story from somebody that worked from you, and they said back in the day they robbed one of your spots. They didn't know it was you, but they wound up robbing one of your spots. After they robbed it, they said you jumped out on them. It was a halfway flex, but you told them they didn't have to rob you. You could put them on and they could make money, and they don't have to be out here doing those types of things in the neighborhood. From that point on, they wound up making a lot of money underneath you. Talk to me about your approach of not being violent in the hood. And
well, when I first started selling cocaine, I realized that it had supposed to have been a lot of violence behind it. And one of the things that I had made a commitment to myself and my partner is that we wasn't going to kill anybody over money. Money was not my God. A lot of people, they make money their God. And money is not my God, even though people might think it is because I'm always making it.
Right. Yeah.
But my kick is making the money, not treasure having it.
Yeah.
I enjoy just making it. Being in the mix where money is being generated, and so many other people, they fall in love with the money. You know, they like to have the money. They like to hold on to it, and I guess worship it.
Okay. So let me ask you about this one. Blandon. Uh, Blandon was, in my opinion, in looking at the story, he was a snake. It was kind of like a
Absolutely.
setup. It was kind of like a setup.
Not kind of like a setup. A setup.
Well, not. What I'm saying is, what I wanted to ask you when it come with that is, do you think that if you would have stayed with what was the connect before, his brother? And you said his brother was lazy. If you would have stayed with him being lazy, would have been a better option for you other than dealing with Blandon, you think?
You know what? When you're in the dope game, man, everything is good. You know, snitching, snakes, cross artists, robbers, jackers, crooked police, you know, dirty girlfriends. I mean, all that go with that game, man. It's just like, it's a game that it's too hard to play.
Don't love
you know, it's too many traps. What my man say, don't love nobody.
Yeah,
and that's the way I look at the game. It don't matter if I would stay with Henry or if it would have been Paul or Jack or Jim.
Okay.
You know, somebody in that game is gonna cross you out. The longer you stay in the game, the better chance it is that somebody is gonna cross you.
All right, and my last questions about the game, you know what I'm saying, in the whole was, I heard someone say that what happened to you happened because you didn't have enough backing from someone in a higher place than what you did. Do you think that would have been a better way for you? Is that a true statement, or how do you feel about that statement?
I just don't see nobody making cocaine work. You know, I just don't see. You know. After I did a lot of studying and you know, one of my favorite books is As a Man Think, and it says that you can't make stupidity good. They just don't. They just don't go together. You know. Now you could try and you twist it and you turn it and you flip it and you roll it over and you throw it up in the air, and it's still gonna be stupidity.
Yeah.
You know, it's still with cocaine. It's still somebody's gonna hurt. You can have all the great intentions and all that, but you're still selling cocaine.
Yeah.
You're still fucking people up. Yeah. And if you fuck other people up, I mean, life is like a boomerang. What you throw out is what you get back.
Absolutely.
You know, you throw that shit out, and that shit gonna come right back in your face some kind of way. It may not come back from the person you threw it at, but somebody is going to come back to you. So, you know, they say karma is a mother. So, you know, I understand now that cocaine was probably the worst thing that I ever did before in my life. The worst mistake I ever made. That was when I went right that day. I should have been going left.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and even though that's you know how I got known, and that's I was going to be known and famous. If I put that same kind of effort that I put in the cocaine, I was going to be flipping fries at McDonald's, and the next thing I would have owned the McDonald's and the next thing I would have owned 50 of them. Because, see, I didn't take the money out the game. I didn't care about the money. I just like to flip fries. So they couldn't stop me from flipping. I was going to be flipping fries all day. The manager would have been like, man, when you going to go home?
Yeah, that's real. Okay, so let's talk about your transition from jail. Coming home, you say you didn't really have nothing. You staying back at home, broke. What was your first venture coming home?
I started a trucking company. That my goal was to get up to 100 trucks, but my crew, who was working with me, who slept on my couch, who I believe had my back when I first started. They flipped on me. You know, they couldn't understand my philosophy about doing business. You know, they couldn't understand how we had 5 trucks, and you know we had weeks where one truck would bring in $8,000 profit. You know, why wasn't I buying cars? Why wasn't I buying clothes? And why didn't I allow them to go out and buy girls' cars. Why was I kept putting everything back into another truck? Why when those trucks did it, why did I go buy another truck? And they couldn't understand it. So that was my first venture was trucking business. I started with a $4,500 truck, and before the guy started wrecking my trucks, I had 5 trucks. I didn't have them all on the road at the same time because, I still have money issues, like getting the truck registered, buying new tires for it. Because, if you put one of those deals on the road, you got to have new tires on them. Highway patrols don't want them out there with bad tires. So, just doing the little things to get them out. But I had 5 trucks in my possession that was registered to me. And the way I was looking at it is, shoot, if I ever have a week where all 5 trucks roll and bring in $8,000 in 1 week, so I'm rich again. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I also had a 758 biker score. From doing. I built my credit while I was in prison. But while I was in prison, I was working. I didn't come out here without a plan. I had a plan.
Hold on. You can't speak by that. You said you worked on your credit while you was in prison?
Yeah, we need you to explain how you did that.
Yeah, you got to break that down. You can't just,
For the brothers that's in there.
Well, what I did is I did a lot of thinking. Like when I owned my apartments and stuff like that, I used to let my mom collect all the rents. They were Section 8s, and she would just take the money and put it in the bank. Okay. And so the bankers used to tell her, "Where's your son? We want to meet your son." And I would never go meet with them. I'm like, I don't want to meet them motherfuckers. What they want to do? And then she was telling me, oh, they want to talk to you about loaning you some money. And I'm like, I don't need no money. I got money problems. I don't know where to put all this shit. That's my problem now. I got money in the trunks of cars and in closets and houses. I don't need no money. But what I ain't understanding is that they talking about loaning me the kind of money I could put back into the bank. I could put into the system that I didn't have to hide. Right. And I never caught on to that. So when I go to prison, I'm thinking about, wow, what if I would have took them loans? What if I would have went to the bank and borrowed $1 million that I could have went and started building apartment buildings without dope money?
Right.
What would have happened? And so I started reading books about real estate and so forth, and they talked about the things that I already had going, but I didn't realize I had going. Mm-hmm. Right. So one of the things that they talked about in there was having good credit. That if you had good credit, that you could just go to the bank and borrow the money. And say, for instance, like I used to build apartments sometimes, and I would make $150,000 profit. Just from building. As soon as I finished with it, I could sell it for make $150,000. So I had these older black contractors who allowed me to use their license, and they was teaching me, money buy you game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Money buy you game. So when you got some money, people don't mind sharing their knowledge with you, letting you use their license, or so forth. So I started using these guys' licenses, and then when I got to prison, I started reading those books, and they talked about having good credit or great credit, and I just started working on it. I ordered books on how to build your credit, how to fix your credit. I used to fix people's credit from prison. There was a lot of people that I fixed their credit. I wrote the letters to the credit bureaus for them, and the whole 9 yards. So I did my own. And when I fixed some of theirs, they would allow me to piggyback on their credit. They would put me on their credit card. So when I got out, I had a 758. But the only thing is, when I got out, I got out in the middle of the 09 recession. The banks wasn't loaning money. They wasn't doing nothing at that time. So it was kind of like a little setback for me.
Okay. Let me ask you this. You but right before you went in, you had the hotel business going on. You was about to be the hood Trump on the creek, and didn't nobody know. And you went in. When you came out, were you able to get the hotels back, or what happened with that?
No, I lost everything when I went to prison. When I got out of prison, I had $200 to my name, and that was money that I had made from prison. Nobody really sent me money while I was in prison. Only a couple of my boys, had saw moms, somewhere at the grocery store or something, and handed them some bucks. But I went all the way broke in prison. When I first went, my telephone bill used to be like $8,000 a month. They had put me in a single cell. I'd never been to prison before. I'd never been to jail before. and they put me in the cell, and they put a telephone in there, and I didn't care how much the minutes was, how much the phone was a minute. I've been used to spending as much money as I wanted whenever I wanted to, so I just laid on the phone.
Hey, yo, from somebody that's been there, I'm laughing because, yo, you said they put you in there by yourself with a phone, and you wrong, man, shit.
Yeah, I laid on
I
the
knew
phone.
You burnt that thing out.
Oh, man. I was in jail girl watching, keeping them in check.
And see, this before like cell phones and all that stuff hit the joint and all that other crazy stuff. So you talk about back then, man. Who idea was it to put you in the room with a phone? Come on.
All of us was in. Everybody that was in high power had rooms, single rooms with a cell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, burning that thing up. I already know it. Okay, so after all these business,
you ever kept a girl in check from the jailhouse?
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, allegedly. Hold on, allegedly.
You call them at 6 in the morning and 12 at night and all during the day. Who over there? Who you with?
Yeah. I know. I remember those days though. I definitely can't say I remember those days. So now you got your businesses together. Why boxing? Why did you choose boxing?
Well, I chose boxing for a few reasons. I was in Caesar's Palace one time, and I can't remember who it was fighting, and Don King walked up, and all the D-boys from L.A., we was all having breakfast together, and Don walked up, and he shook everybody's hand at that table. And when I was sitting in prison, I was like, damn, what would have happened to you if you'd have got up and told Don King you had $3 million right then? Would he let you go with him? Mm-hmm. And I didn't do it, and I regretted it. I feel like had I done that, I would be the king of boxing right now. And then, when I got out, Floyd Mayweather had picked me up when I got out the halfway house.
Yeah. I was going to ask you to elaborate on that for me. Go ahead, elaborate on that.
So I thought Floyd knew, had read my mind. And knew that I was one of the baddest motherfuckers that ever walked the planet. Hey, because I ain't no joke. I don't play with them,
Yeah.
I don't love their money. I don't love their money. I do not worship your money. I don't want your money. I just want to be great.
That's why you a monster.
And see, it's different. It's different when you can walk away from their money. See, the week I got out of prison, I went to probably the 5 most powerful guys in Hollywood. I had a meeting in their office, and they offered me a deal, and I turned that deal down. I didn't take it for none of them. They all put money on the table, and they couldn't understand. My mom was losing her house, and that meant we were all going to be homeless. But I felt that it was better for us to be homeless than for me to sell my story to people who really didn't appreciate it and didn't know the story. They were only interested in doing my story because of the people who brought me to their office. They didn't respect my mind. They didn't know who they was talking to.
Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Episodes drop every Tuesday at 4:15. Jump in the live chat with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as throughout the week we keep the content coming. With sparring sessions with Lack and KG. Interviews though. Undercard Underrated with Deuce Shizzle. And more. And remember, support is important.
All right, OG. So when you got off, we was asking you about why you chose boxing. You was telling us how you got you was messing with Floyd Mayweather when you first came out. You want to talk about that a little bit for us?
Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
Well, when I got out, Floyd had picked me up, and I thought that we was developing a friendship, partnership, I really, to me it'd be strange how people don't see you if you're not on a certain platform.
Right.
We have a tendency to overlook talent, if it hasn't turned into the bloom like a flower. When the flower is, when it's in that infancy stage, it's not nice and pretty and bloom, and people overlook it. And I thought that Floyd had saw that in me, that it didn't matter if it was boxing, selling dope, selling cars, houses. I just do good at whatever I do. Mm-hmm. Because what I do is I do things for the love of doing it. Right. Not necessarily so that I can become a billionaire, so that I could go around and snub my nose at everybody who don't have it. I didn't want to be rich for that. I want to be rich so that I can help more people.
Most important.
Yeah.
So that I can help people who don't have nothing to eat. I can give them something to eat. With the black community right now, we in a fucked up state of mind. Mm-hmm. I looked at, and people might criticize me for saying this, but I looked at the George Floyd funeral, and I saw all the support that his family was getting, mm-hmm. strictly because they're on TV now.
Right, right.
And there's so many good brothers out here who are doing great things, and nobody recognizes them until they die.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Like, I gotta die in order for you to recognize my brilliance or my gifts to society. I just saw all the celebrities sitting in the funeral, at the funeral services. And I don't watch funerals. I don't go to funerals. I didn't go to my own mom's funeral. I don't really get into that. But I was here at the house, and it was on the TV. And I just sit there and I looked at it, and I was like, wow. First of all, they're not practicing social distancing.
Photo ops.
Yo, first thing first, man. I've been saying that from jump.
Nobody got on, a few of them got on masks. Al Sharpton is 80-something years old. Mm-hmm. He's standing in there preaching without a mask on. I'm like, what the hell? And even if you don't believe in the coronavirus, mm-hmm. what is wrong with you playing it safe just in case you're wrong? Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've just learned so much, from my past life about making mistakes. And, when you make a mistake, when you taking a chance on doing something that may be a mistake, that you still got to put precautions behind it, just in case you are wrong. But it's just so many things that we doing wrong right now as a community. Our leaders are not really leaders.
No.
They didn't start speaking out until after the white media said that what happened with George was fucked up. And as soon as I saw it, I said it was fucked up.
Yeah.
Right.
And the media don't really care because they only talk to the people that already. How are you talking to T.D. Jakes about what's going on in the hood?
Yeah. He ain't been there in years.
Oh man.
T.D. Jakes got on that $5,000 suit.
Flew here in a $1 million plane.
Yeah. How can you talk to him about what these kids are going through? You know what I'm saying? I mean, even with me, I'm living in the hood. But I make $10,000 or $15,000 a month sometimes. Right. So the same thing that everybody else in the hood is going through, I'm not going through. Right now my cabinets are full of food. I got 3 refrigerators in the house. We don't really need nothing. But there's other people out here that don't have it that well. That was living check to check. Every week that they needed that check just to have something to eat, or not making it. Just like with the rioting, they said, well, they burglarizing I said, yeah, well, they ain't had nothing to eat in 3 months. You know, they've been without they job for 3-4 months. You gave them a reason.
Yeah.
They probably have been looking at them supermarkets.
Right.
You're like, damn, I feel like going in there taking something.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I done
that's
been
facts.
like that before.
Yeah.
Hell
I done
yeah,
been
shit.
where-
Yeah,
Quite a few of us had.
yeah, we done been there. I remember
Matter of
the
fact,
days.
I done walked in the supermarket and ate food right inside the supermarket because I was hungry.
Oh
Right.
shit. We used to we used to swarm the allegedly. We used to swarm the supermarket deep. Fill up pants, pockets, and jackets and walk out.
Yeah.
Facts. So we definitely, you know what I'm saying? We definitely
So you can understand if somebody give you a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Really
Yeah.
go in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It don't take much.
Yeah.
It don't take much more. You already hungry.
That's and
little whisper in there.
I'm gonna put a pause on the box of questions because I want to ask you a couple questions that people asked me to ask you. My homie KG wanted me to ask you, what is your plan to for plan of action for the hood and everything that's going on? What's your plan of action by you?
Well, right now I'm putting together. I'm trying to put together a group, and I'm calling the group at this time an agenda. A black agenda. Okay. And what this agenda is going to do is going to get the smartest people that I can find, because I know there's going to be people out there that are smarter than what I can find or what's going to work with me. But I'm going to get the smartest people that I can get, to work with me. So far, I got the most notable people I got so far is Bishop Jones, Noel Jones, Grace Jones' brother, and Brother Tony Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. I think Tony is probably like the fourth man in the rank at the Nation of Islam. But those two brothers have shown me brilliance and a real concern for our community. So to have them working with me, I feel super honored. Right now, what we're doing is we're setting up an interview with Joe Biden, where it's probably going to be the first time that this ever happens, where two black men get to ask an incoming president, what is he going to do for black people?
Right.
What is his agenda for black people? What do you see we need? And then once he tells us what we need, then we're going to tell him what we think we need.
Right.
And see how far he's willing to go with helping us with our problems. A lot of people got on Joe Biden when he said that on the Breakfast Club.
You're not black, yeah.
You ain't black if you don't vote for me. But
yeah, we got him.
if he'd have said that last week, people wouldn't have felt the same way they felt a week before.
Right.
So I don't know if he was predicting the future or what. But if somebody would have said that the week before, I don't think nobody would have argued with anybody black that vote for Donald Trump is a retard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Deuce, you got a question for him? You got something for him, Deuce?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to say it's a pleasure to even just hear you speak. You know what I'm saying? Just listening to your game alone is cool. But I would like to know, is there anything about your past that you regret?
Well, you know what? When you say that word, and I used to tell people that I regretted selling cocaine, but I did an interview at the Chicago Tribune, and the girl, she interviewed me, and when she finished with the interview, she said, "What I get from you is no regrets, only lessons."
Right.
So I've tried to learn from every mistake that I've ever made, and I'm hoping that those lessons have made me a better person today than I was when I got ready to make that mistake. So I would say no regrets, only lessons.
No regrets, only lessons. Okay, I dig it.
Okay. You wanna holler, get in the album?
Yeah. So, what advice would you give a young entrepreneur on the come up?
Well, one of the most important things about business is that I hope that they're not getting into business just for money.
Right.
Because if that's the only reason you're getting into it, you'll have a tough time. Because if you're going out to make money and not to be great, it's hard. It's hard to make money. You know, most of the people who make their money, they found something that they were so passionate at that they would do it all day and all night as if it wasn't a job, that every waking moment, and even sleep sometimes, because, you know, people tell me that even when I'm sleeping, I'm talking about my businesses because I'm so passionate about them. And it's not just the money. The money is only the trophy that you get for a job well done. So I would tell them, don't focus on the money. Focus on being great.
Back baller with a new me, shawty, if you knew me, shirt gon' rep and you probably wanna boo me. Let your shirt talk. Get your Southside Diddy wear online or through DMs on Instagram. Support your own. SBdo.
All right, so I'm gonna jump back on the boxing real quick. What was your first boxing match that you seen live?
Who did I see first? Might have been Sugar Ray Leonard. I went with my girlfriend. She talked me into going. I really wasn't interested in going to boxing matches. I thought that it was a waste of money. We spent a lot of money when we used to go to boxing matches. For me to go to a boxing match probably would cost me about $100,000. You know, with all my guys, everybody buying new clothes and everything. So it was kind of heavy. It was heavy on the pocket when they go to fight. So I really didn't go. But I had been allowing my main girl to go, and she eventually talked me into going. And once I started going, I started liking the environment, and I just kept going.
Okay. So we know you got a Team Freeway. We've been interviewing the fighters. Thank you for sending them over for sure.
No doubt.
Any big names you want to sign that you got your eye on, or you not allowed to talk about?
Right now, I'm looking at a guy named Kobe. He's I think he's fighting 125. He's 15-0. I really like his trainer. Really, what I want to do is partner with his trainer, because his trainer believes that he can make champs. His trainer name is Floyd. I wanted him to call in today too. The trainer is Floyd Senior. He's from he was a Olympic guy too, and Kobe is an Olympic guy too. Kobe is an Olympic guy out of Barbados, I think.
Yeah. I did a little. I looked him up. I thought he was gonna be here today too. So if you get a chance to send him through, definitely send him through.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, definitely send him through.
So I'm looking at him. But you know, I'm not really particular. I can work with anybody. Yeah. My main goal is that I want to help young brothers become as successful as they can. Because what I found out is a lot of times they sign with these managers or these advisors, and all these dudes do is take them to the promoter and get a check. You know, they don't really work the guys. And what I want to do is teach these guys how that you're not supposed to sit on your hands. You're supposed to work. You know, usually most nights I work from around 11:30 at night, 12, and I'm back up most mornings at 5:30, 6 in the morning, working again. And that's why, you know, I'm being so successful.
Absolutely. Early bird catch that worm. Okay, so what do you look for in boxers when you go to sign somebody? Like, what do you like? Is it something?
I'm more interested in people who like me, you know, who kind of see the world the way I see it. Because if they don't see the world the way I sorry about that.
No, okay.
I hit the wrong button or something. If they don't see the world the way you see it, and you guys are constantly clashing on what's supposed to be done, you know, how to enhance your notoriety. I believe that if a fighter can make $10 million outside the ring, that his purse inside the ring has to grow.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't think that you concentrate on getting a bigger fighting purse. You first work on becoming a better person outside the ring, and that'll also enhance your in the ring purses. And you can fight anybody you want to. You know, I see so many guys like Austin right now. You know, he wants to fight Crawford or either Earl Spence. You know, he wants a title shot at the 147. You know, he worked his way down, worked hard to get down to 147. Now there's really no way that he can to get in for that fight unless he learned some type of method to make the public demand that fight.
All right. So we just did an interview with Marlon So Icy Sims. He is the LDBC's residential boxer. He fights at 126. You have Kobe that you about to sign that fights at 126. And we also interviewed Mac Bad News Barnes at 126. Oh, is it possible that we might see some of these guys clashing heads?
If Kobe signs with me, whatever Kobe wants to do, I'm gonna get him that.
Okay.
You know, one thing about me is that I've gotten everything in life that I ever wanted, and how I knew that is when I was sitting in prison and I was writing my book, and I thought about before I'd ever been to a police car. I used to ask my girlfriends, were they gonna come and see me when I went to prison? And what I found out is that that's the power of suggestion. So I was suggesting to myself that I should go to prison.
Right. See if they come see you.
Yeah.
You spoke it into existence.
Okay. So I spoke it into existence. And then once I learned that, I started telling myself, oh, you gonna get out. Yeah. Oh, you gonna get out. Even if you have to break out. You know, it's gonna be a way, you're gonna figure out a way to get out of here. And eventually that came up. So if Kobe does sign with me and follow my philosophy, you know, because you can't just say something without putting the actual work behind what you're saying. You know, it's a difference between dreaming and having a burning desire.
Right.
You know, I have a burning desire to be the biggest in boxing.
Right.
And it's not my most burning desire, but it's one of them. You know, it's something that I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. You know, as soon as I finish with this marijuana, then I'm going to hit this boxing.
And you know OG, that leads me into the last question. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and talk to us about the dispensary. This is not we doing that. Go ahead. Yeah, no, this is not a legend. This is for real. We doing that. Tell me about the dispensary.
Well, you know what? I was living in an apartment building that I had no contract for. One of my friends was a manager, and he allowed me and my family to move in after my mom lost her house. I don't know if you saw the documentary, but during the time that I was hanging out with Floyd, my mom was losing her house, and we were all getting evicted. Yeah. So we eventually got evicted. I answered the door the day that the marshals came to the door and evicted me, because I wasn't going to tell nobody, you know, hey, man, you know, we finna get put out of our house, and will you please, you know, get on my knees, will you please help me? No, that ain't none of me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, when I left prison, I was prepared to sleep in the car if necessary.
Right. Because
I knew what I was going to do. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to come up. Now, marijuana I had never calculated in my game plan. I'll be honest with you, because I was doing my time in Texas. I did not know marijuana was legal in California.
Right.
Okay.
So when I get off parole, the day I get off parole, one of my partners, white guy, named Matt out of Cincinnati, he came. He said, "Man, you ought to go to this weed conference with us. It's going to be about 50,000 people out there." And I was like, "Man, I don't want to be around them weed people," because I'm thinking gateway drug, you know.
Yeah.
Start selling marijuana. Next thing you know, you back into cocaine. Because I already know I love selling cocaine.
That's what Tim said. You look.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I love that shit. I was willing. Let me tell you what I was willing to do. I was willing to kill for it. I was willing to die for it. I had my little brothers carrying guns with me where I was putting their life on the line for it. So I understand how much. I took a lie detector test one time, right? These cops shot at me and they planted cocaine on me. So I'm fighting the case. So I take a lie detector test. The dude who did the lie detector test, he told my lawyer, he said, well, listen to this here. He said, Rick is around cocaine so much that if you just mention the word cocaine, Rick alerts. He said, but now, the gun, I can definitely say Rick didn't have a gun that night.
Right.
Definitely. But I can't say that about cocaine because I can ask him about cocaine anytime and he always alerts. So what I'm saying is that I had fell in love with cocaine.
Right.
I fell in love with the game of cocaine. And I understood that. So when my man is talking to me about weed, I'm saying, man, no, I don't want to be a part of that. You're going to drag me right back into where I was at.
Uh-huh.
I just got out of prison. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been out for 6 years. And anyway, but he said, man, I bet they'll buy a lot of books. Hey, I was throwing boxes of books in the trunk of his car.
Yeah,
it was on our way.
Right.
And, man, I went out there, man, and them white dudes showed me so much love, man. Listen, they treated me like royalty out there. You know what they told me? They told me, thank you. Because if it wasn't for your case exposing the CIA, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. Mm-hmm. And then they put me on the mic, and I said, yeah. And in the 80s, they'd have locked all y'all ass up out here with all this.
Hold on, OG. So the major key to this, you sold out all them books, though, right?
I sold every book I had.
Believe
like 300
that.
books that day.
Believe that, man. Believe that.
Hey, when I left there, I had a new plan. I got home. I called all my brothers. We were sitting at the round table. I called a round table meeting. I said, listen, man, we finna get into the weed business. Yeah. I said, I'm gonna take $500 of this book money, and I'm finna go buy a quarter pound of this weed, and we in. And that's where I started at, man. I started with $500, and I started doing pretty good in the weed business. You know, they stopped me up on the mountain. I was going on the mountain one day buying weed. You probably saw the article. It went viral. The police stopped me and took my money, took $105,000 from me, and called the news media as soon as he took me to jail. Oh, the guy who claimed to go straight is up on the mountain trying to get drugs. He didn't say weed, he said drugs. Yeah. So, you know, the first thing everybody thought it was cocaine.
Yeah, you dealing with he's back. Yeah, these green bricks. He's back. These green bricks out there.
Yeah. So I went from there, man, to I found out that the city was getting ready to give out new licenses. And we went down and started fighting for social equity. We said, hey, you know what? You got 2 blacks with licenses in the whole Los Angeles. That ain't going to work. We ain't standing for it. So we got to implement social equity. And I won my license. I'm 99. I won number 99 on the list. And that pretty much put me in control. We're starting a board here with those 100 licenses. And the city said that those licenses are going to be worth anywhere from $500 million to $1.5 billion. Okay. So my goal is to be the president of that board, or if not the president, the guy to tell the president what to do.
Right. That's the man. Yeah. That sound like Ross. Yeah. That sound like the Freeway I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, either one, it don't matter. Yeah. Either one don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear that.
So the marijuana industry, I'm in great position right now to have the biggest brand in the industry. We already have the biggest brand in the industry, but don't nobody know it yet. You know, you got to show them.
Yeah, right. Is there a storefront?
My storefront is not up yet because the city, you know, the coronavirus closed the city down.
Yeah.
So the city was supposed to give us our license in January, but there was some cheating going on. Some people cheated to get in the system, and they went through that for a while. And then before they could get all that sorted out, the coronavirus hit, and they just held it down. But yeah, I'm gonna have a storefront. I'm also gonna have a delivery service. I'm working on a delivery service right now that's gonna be like a Uber, where my thing is gonna be catering to blacks. I just keep going back to what I relate to, man.
Well,
blacks in jail.
Yeah,
A lot of blacks wasn't able to get the license because it was a fee that was involved. Plus, it was a lot of paperwork. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow people to use my license to do their delivery services, and I got a plan that's gonna knock the boots off the game.
Okay. Well, when we go to Cali, we definitely will be getting a delivery service.
LA Kingpin, baby. LA Kingpin, baby.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Believe that. You know what I'm saying? You got another one for him?
Yeah.
You got.
Before we go, could you talk to us about Snowfall?
Oh yeah. Now, hold on. Before you even say that, now I like to tell people, if you take like some pure concentrate like orange juice and then fill it up with ice and then dump water on the ice and then let the ice melt and then water down like that, that's the Rick Ross story. You know what I'm saying? Because Snowfall is definitely not the real, the raw. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead and tell us how. You go ahead and drop a jewel on that for us, please.
Well, when I was in jail watching John Singleton do his thing, man. So, I saw him, the baby boy, Boys in the Hood. So I'm like, yes, he's from South Central LA. He the one should tell my story. Who better to tell my story than a brother from South Central LA who grew up knowing about me?
Right.
Me and him should be partners.
Right.
So when I got out, I looked John up. We went and had lunch a couple times. We're talking. We're working on the story. And I'm also working on a TV series at the same time. So this was before the Weinsteins had gotten all that trouble. So we at the Weinstein's office trying to get this deal closed with Nick Cassavetes. Nick Cassavetes is the guy who did Blow. Okay. And he took me to the Weinsteins, and then one of the Weinsteins came out the back with a Variety article saying, "Oh, John Singleton just got funded for Snowfall. We ain't doing no two movies of the same story, and they gonna beat us out." And turned around and walked back out the door. So meeting was over, deal was done, and John Singleton had crossed me out.
And you was advising him, correct?
No, he didn't have me as no advisor.
Oh, okay.
Last time I saw him, though, before he died.
Oh, I know this story. I like this story. Go ahead, tell the people.
We was at a Red Grant party, and it was in downtown LA, but on the outskirts of downtown LA, kind of in the hood a little bit. And I was going out the party to get somebody that was coming, and John Singleton was coming up the steps, and I had about 4 or 5 of my guys with me, and he looked like he had saw a ghost. I might be the one to cause that heart attack.
I like that story. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it. I threw him the alley-oop. We do that.
He called me to the side. He called me to the side. Man, I need to talk to you. I've been wanting to talk to you. I said, John, you got my number. My number ain't changed. My number ain't gonna never change. So anybody that owe me money or that I owe money, all they got, if they ever had my number, they still got my number because it don't change. And I told him that, and he was, oh man, I got some money for you. I want you to be a consultant on the show. The show, not your shows. This about my cousin. And I told him, man, your cousin, you ain't had no motherfucking cousin that had the CIA in their case, man. Stop it. You might have had a cousin that sold some cocaine in L.A., but he didn't have all the elements that you put inside of Snowfall.
Right.
And but I ain't with no black on black violence, no way. So
he was trying to say you was his cousin, OG. He was saying you was his cousin.
Yeah, you know how we do.
Well, I am his cousin. In LA, if you're in a Crip neighborhood, everybody cousin.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
If you're in the blood neighborhood, everybody blood.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. It was sad that he, along with Hollywood, would continue to sell us bullshit instead of giving us the real.
Right.
And that's one of the problems that we have as black people is that they've been serving us bullshit for so long, and they won't bring what's real to us and let us, decipher. I mean, if you give a kid a problem and you gave him all the wrong problems, but you expect him to come up with the right answers, you a bullshit motherfucker.
Yeah, very bad teacher.
Yeah. You know, give him the right questions.
Teach him.
Don't give him questions that you know is wrong, and then expect them to come up with the correct answers. It's not gonna happen, and that's what they've been doing to us as blacks here in America for too many years. You know, somebody sent me the Jim Crow thing. I read the Jim Crow letter when I was in prison, but I listened to it yesterday, and I saw the manipulation, the brainwashing, and so forth that they did to us as a people. And it's no wonder that we all out here chopping each other's head off right now. But we're not, and we got a chance to continuously growing. And I just started an organization that I'm putting together an organization right now called the Black Agenda. I got Bishop Noel Jones working with me, and I got Minister Tony Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. And, you know, both of them thanked me for putting them on the same platform. And we're going to try to come up with a black initiative to where we can teach blacks how to be entrepreneurs and how to be critical thinkers. Because I think that once we do that, then we don't have to worry about nobody looking out for us. We ain't gonna have to worry about them choking none of our young men out or shooting on our young men in the back, because we're gonna know how to handle it ourselves when that happens.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, OG. Like I said, whenever you get a new fighter, you know what I'm saying, definitely talk to CC, send him this way. We will be happy to interview him.
We're gonna get somebody.
Yeah.
We're gonna get somebody in there. I'm gonna keep fishing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep fishing till that one come. You know,
Yeah.
I know you know, my man say, if you build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm gonna keep building and keep adding on until that right one come that wants to that want to be the new king, because that's what I want to do. I don't want to you know, make no money from this game. I want to build the new king. You know, I believe that Floyd left, the money didn't.
Believe that.
Right.
The pot got bigger.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The pot got bigger. So yeah, I think that's going to definitely work. Yeah, that's it. You want to tell the people how they can follow you?
Oh yeah, y'all can follow me. You know too. I'm doing an Instagram live all the time, looking for game. Last night I had Juju on there. She blessed us with some game. I had Russell Simmons on the day before. I mean, my live is going crazy right now. So definitely check it out. Freeway Ricky on Instagram and Freeway Rick Ross on Facebook. And if you want to order my book or T-shirts or any of my merchandise, you can go to freewayrickyross.com. Thank you.
All right, no problem, OG, man. Like I said, man, thank you for coming through, showing us some love. Thank you for coming back for the part 2. We definitely appreciate that. That's how you know he a real one. You know what I'm saying?
No matter how I get, you can call me. I'm coming.
Believe that. That's like I said. We
help me get here.
Yeah,
help me get here.
We gonna come back and try to get you on here again. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna come back and try to holler at you again. Make sure you ain't forgot about the little guys.
If y'all run across one of them fighters that need somebody to help me,
send them
call me.
All right, we got you. We got you. And on that note,
I think we got one for you, for real. We're gonna tell him to call you up.
Tell him to call me. I'm gonna take care of him. Hey, one thing he gonna tell you, man, I sure appreciate you hooking me up with Freeway.
All right. Well, we got you then. We got you. And if you ever need any hands in this fight, you know what I'm saying? Supreme Beast here with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gonna always throw that fist up. You feel?
Yeah, every step of the way. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I need y'all. We doing Zoom calls on Saturday. I would love if you guys stop by one Saturday.
Yeah.
We got some great females that's gonna be coming on, entrepreneurs that have took nothing and made something out of it. And they'll be talking about, matter of fact, one of them is Big Meech's girl who went to jail with Big Meech. She'll be on there talking about how she was able to rebuild her life from, she killing the game too. She got a girl gang for investing. You got to hear her story. Okay. So y'all definitely should come by, and everybody should come by and hear Sabrina Peterson next Saturday at 6 o'clock on Zoom. we have the post and I make CC sure CC get you guys all the login information and everything.
All right, yeah, bet that. Yeah, like I said, she sent it to me last week. I'm gonna be on there whenever I get it. You know, I'm on there for sure.
I appreciate it.
All right,
thank y'all.
And no problem. Salute to the mighty LDBC. You know what I'm saying? And thanks again, OG. And we'll get up with you.
One love.
All right, one.